That's good.
Good stuff. Good morning, everyone. And sorry, I'll just make it a bit more mellow. So thanks for joining us for another Joe Lock style Tai Chi and Qigong class. We have our little guest cat today, which is Daisy, and we have our guest teacher, which is Willem, and myself, Jane, as always. So let's take right hand in the fist, please, and left hand straight. Go back the thumb, with feet together, hands together. Let's salute our guest. Lao Shi Hao. Thank you. And Xie San Hao. Okay, so we're going to begin with 7 stars in rotations Qigong. Yesterday I got the most amazing feedback about this form. My students said, you know, it really is beautiful how it gently lifts you from level to level and builds you up in ability, and that's exactly, I think, what Master Locke was aiming for. But this student was really feeling it and was gaining in confidence by working her way through these moves. So it's a brilliant workout, but it is also a brilliant school for our training in our minds, in our bodies. So we begin with Wuji, please. We float up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back, and we allow the system to release and hang down from that top point. Calm down. Listen behind. And find all 10 fingers. Can you feel them? Very gently lengthen them down towards the earth. Find your feet and feel the weight spreading evenly across the 4 corners of the feet. Feel the weight releasing down into the earth. Are we ready? Gently, slowly bring the awareness back to the space. If your eyes are closed, slowly, gently open your eyes. We begin with movement 1, open door 5. Checking your posture. Resting your hands lightly level with your waist. Feel into your belly. Gently we move on to movement 2. We work on the earth level, influencing from the waist down. And let's change direction. Please bear in mind that we are working with our bodies here and now. So if we have any issues at the time, we have to work with them and not just against them, not just doing it anyway. So feel how you feel, and if it feels wrong on the day, then leave it out. And on the other side, now we're working from the waist up. So Tai Chi duality, heaven and earth. Change direction. Sometimes I'll count and choose what number to do. Sometimes I go purely by instinct and feel, and my body goes, yep, that's enough. That's fine too. Let's come back to center and movement 3. Heaven, earth, and human. We draw into the head, to the eyebrows, and guide the energy with our fingertips like laser beams. Remember, it doesn't matter how low you go, it does matter that you keep posture. Please try to avoid leaning the body forwards. Let's check posture. Relax to center. Let's do it again. So this is a squat rather than a forward bend. So as you can see, we're trying to remain upright. If you watch Willem, his upper body, though it does bend forwards a little bit, it's not a forwards bend. Check posture. Relax to center. We're going to do it one more time, and this time I'd like you to sacrifice how low you go for good posture. If you can't go down very far, it doesn't matter. You can still think of drawing around your feet, again, like there are laser beams coming out of your hands. So even if you're up here, you can still do the exercise completely. Okay, are we ready? And so Willem, if you can do it all the way, I will do a modification. Well, you do it, you're... Okay. That's all right, good. We both did the modification, lovely. Check posture. Relax into center. Beautiful. Okay, Willem, how would you like to do the front view mirrored and I'll do the normal view, back view, because I always do it mirrored. Then when I go to do it for myself, I have this kind of, which way do I go? Okay, so we're next doing our little rolling the ball, a little earth exercise to center ourselves. And now we have the dragon to the east. So it's actually more like southeast. We're turning the toes to the corner. And let's do the version where we're just rolling the ball forwards and back. But we'll do it 3 times at each level. So 3 times at base level, then roll up 3 times at chest level, feeling into your back. And let's go 3 times at head and neck level. Good, and then we're going to take a little step and skim across to do the tiger to the west. We're stepping back. No, we're not, are we?
No.
No, sorry, we're not. I go straight into Phoenix there, which is ironic because now we do the Phoenix to the south. So we're going to expand the ball, turn it around and step, and I've done it wrong, sorry, expand, turn around, step. Can we do that again, please? Because I did it wrong. Apologies. Okay, so can we go from tiger? All right. Okay, so you bring your right hand under, we expand the ball, we roll it round, and we step left. Good. Relax and expand. Good. Release the back foot and step. Relax and expand. Good. And we go over the rainbow and over the rainbow. Feet parallel and into the snake to the north. So we flip the toes and we turn the waist and make an S shape around your body. Press your hands away from your center and release. And we do our little lasso and repeat to the other side. So coming around, looking over your shoulder, press your hands away, but keep the curve of your arms. Well done. Release and return to center. For our turtle, it's the second part of the northern movement. We sit back and down as we bring the arms forwards and up. Fill your back, lengthen through the top of the head, bring the chin slightly down and back. So be the turtle extending its neck out of the shell. Good, keep breathing and release. Lovely. Now we find the southeast corner again for our gold. I'm ironing out the corner a wee bit. Ready? We're going to step and step through. We roll back, float up and square up. Step and step through. We block, step back and pierce. Block, step, pierce. We cycle with a half step and stretch and a bigger step. And again, stretch and release, turn. Step, block and half step, rise. Let's do it again, glide down, step the other foot through, block and rise. Last time. This is our fire element, block and rise. Beautiful. Turn to the front and scoop. Now we have the earth element. Good. Now we're going to swing. Sorry, no, keep going. Another 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Swing under, throwing up and over, step and open the toes. Good. Back the way you came, turning in, stepping back, swing. Up, step through, and open. We keep turning in that direction, and step for our martial flowers. and step, and step, back the way you came.
I'm getting lost here, sorry.
That's all right.
Follow Jane.
We're all students, turn. And cross the front leg, step. Cross the front leg, step forwards again if you can, step. Step back. Step back. And return to center, take a breath. Again, we'll just pause level with the waist. And relaxed. Good. Good. You know, sometimes I'm hoping it's actually reassuring for students to see that teachers mess up because it reminds you that we're all human. Someone said that to me the other day. I can't remember what it was that I did. I think it wasn't in class, but they were like, oh, I'm so glad. Yes, I forgot something. And they were saying, I'm so glad that you do that too. Because they just figured that they must be, you know, dipping in mental acuity because they forget things. We all forget things, we all get things wrong. So if you do, don't worry, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, try again, right? Yeah. So let's now look at the 7th exercise, 7 stars in rotations, Qigong. So you want to be able to take 2 steps to each corner, but we're stepping around in a curve, which makes a circle, and that gives us 8 steps around. So we lengthen up, and chin down and back, release, relax down, find your fingers, lengthen them down. Re-scoop. The right hand comes under. We turn the ball, push the left heel out. The lower hand slides up towards the center of the circle. Relax your shoulders and release your right foot. Ready? And we step right, left, right, left. Keep going. Right, left, right, left. Turn in. Grab your ball with left hand on top. Release. Left hand, right hand towards the center. Off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. Well done. But just rest level with the waist for a moment. And relax down. Give yourself a moment to feel, to experience, and to let go. And then when you're ready, you can do a little heel tap, and you can step out of your practice. Now, I would love to share with you something that I've just experienced myself, and it's always very exciting when you get these epiphanies, when things just kind of present themselves. So often when you're doing that, walking around in a circle, you're doing it on your own. It's actually a great privilege to have someone to walk around the circle with you, because it does potentially give you new insights. And what I found was that as I was walking around in the first direction, bearing in mind I'm still very much a student of circle walking, a beginner student, I was trying to concentrate on the center of the circle, and I was pretty much looking at my hand. But as I continued round, I kind of woke myself up a bit and thought, no, that's not the way. And I actually looked at Willem, who was on the edge of the circle. And all of a sudden, my balance, my focus, my strength clicked. I felt much more with it. Now, we're not used to circle walking in Tai Chi. If you're a Tai Chi person and you're immersed into Bagua, it can feel really quite alien. Because in Tai Chi, apart from the fact we're walking in circles, in Tai Chi we're constantly being encouraged to look to the horizon, to send your awareness out in all directions, and that gives you a feeling of stability and freedom and power and connectedness and awareness and all the rest of it. But when we're walking in a circle, we can't look out into the distance. I don't think that works. However, I had been focusing to the center of the circle. And actually, I realized when I looked to Willem, to the edge of the circle, that was where my power was. So I was looking through the center to the horizon of my own little orbit. And that worked a heck of a lot better for me. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, I tend to look in the distance.
You look into the distance completely, yeah. And does that?
Well, if I'm on my own.
Yeah. And does that work well for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. We had this discussion in class, gosh, a good few weeks ago actually, it was before the summer. And I was saying to them, because they were trying to look into the distance, but they were losing the center of their circle. And they were doing very odd shapes. And I was going, no, just focus on the center, that's where you're focusing because that's where you're moving around. And yet, when I did it there, actually by looking at you, which isn't the distance, but is further than the center, it was better. So I was using the center as my targeting device to where I was looking. So that was new for me. And it reminded me of the phrase, don't look at the finger pointing to the moon, look at the moon. So I think that, yes, I'm going to now experiment with looking into the distance, but using the center of the circle as my, crosshairs?
Focal point.
Focal point, yes. That's the point that's directing my awareness into the distance as I go around. So that was new to me. That was a little discovery for me. I thought, woohoo, I've learned something, or at least I've, opened up the box, ready to play with the toy. So I hope you enjoyed that. Willem, do you have anything that you'd like to say about any of that we've just done? No?
I always feel that you go quite fast over things, just your circles and all.
Yeah.
I tend to go slower. It's interesting. It takes me out of my own paradigm a little bit, which is good as well.
Yeah, thank you. There's no set speed. Quite often I bounce off the ability of the students at the time. So I have one student who seems to need to go slower, so I go slower. It could also be the fact that I'm excited about teaching and sharing, which speeds me up, which is not necessarily the most conducive speed to go at. So why don't we just do movement 2 together? And Willem, I'd like you to set the speed. We'll go a little bit slower. We'll go at what feels comfortable, and you can feel the difference. I think really it's like nutrition, each day, one day you might want a salad, another day you might want a quiche, and they have very different consistencies, and yet they're both nourishing. So it's not one size fits all, but it's nice to experiment and realize that you can do it in different ways. So Willem, if you want to take the front and I'll go side.
Yeah, and sometimes I coordinate with the breathing. You don't have to do this, and it's actually good to not worry about the breathing, but just for experience, just let's try with the breathing. So we get the hands ready, make sure they're nice and energized. We have the feet shoulder width. Check your posture, and on an in-breath, float the hands up. And on an out-breath, bring the hands down onto that tabletop. And let's just go to the front a couple of times. Breathe in, expand. Breathe out. Relax. One more time. In. And out. And let's put the turning in as well. So we breathe in, expand. And we breathe out, drawing into the center. Keep doing that. If you want to just breathe any way you like, that's fine too. You hear me talking now, so this is all one breath. But if I do for myself, this would be the out breath and the in breath. Follow your own breathing speed. Keep the hands connected to the ground, as if rolling a big yoga ball. And on the next one, let's change direction. So we can expand and then an S shape. Breathe out. Other side, breathe in and out. If you want, you can even go slower. You always want to calm the breathing. If it's comfortable, slow it down as much as you like. But for now, let's do one more circle. Come to the front and draw the hands in. Lifting up and expanding. And in. Breathing in. Breathing out. So very natural. When the arms expand, it's when the breath gets into the lungs. Like a pump, opening up and squeezing it in. Feel the energy rolling along the back to the other arm and along the fingers. On the next one, let's change. So one more time, we expand. S shape coming in, breathe out. Other side, breathe in. And out. With the hands, I have this picture of the earth spinning around the sun. So your hands make a nice orbit. And since one side of the orbit is the in-breath and the other the out-breath, it's a little bit like going into summer. Everything gets fuller. Going into winter, everything gets a little bit more yin. Yang expanding, yin coming back in. And on the next one, let's expand to the front one more time. And we're going to release the hands. Take a big breath. And out. Very good. Let's cover center. Calm down. And when you're ready, you can close the feet. Come.
Lovely, well done, thank you. Yeah, Very beautiful. Something that I was explaining to a class recently was that we don't have to get a lot of steps under our belt in order to experience the full benefits of Tai Chi. It is really like every step is a drop from the ocean, but every drop contains the ocean. It contains all the information, it contains all the personality and the structure of the ocean. So if we can do one step well in Tai Chi, with as little deviation as possible, we're actually embodying the essence of all of Tai Chi. So I really enjoyed that, and it was lovely to be slowed down. Sometimes when I'm doing it myself, I realise, oh, I'm going a bit fast. And yet it's kind of like an addiction. Sometimes your speed can be a habit and a comfort. So actually breaking out of that paradigm can actually really make a breakthrough in experience. So it's a really nice thing to do, and I'm really glad you pointed that out and shared that with us.
But it's the same the other way around. Yeah, for me it's the same going faster. It's suddenly like, wow, there's this freedom. And if you forcibly, like we did now, connect the movement with the breathing, it can get a little bit, intense as well. So you got to be free as well, and suddenly it's not the breathing, it's just the energy rolling around, disconnected from the breathing, which can be really nice as well. So.
Yeah, breaking out of your pattern, especially if it is something you have done for a while and are actually familiar with, it's easy enough. It just sort of, it's that little shock of, oh, I can do it differently.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really nice. And when Master Locke came to Belfast in his first time, he said, okay, sometimes for beginners it's quite difficult to move slowly, so let's move fast. And we were doing the Phoenix form, the first few movements of the Phoenix form, and the speed that he went at, I couldn't do. I could not break out of my paradigm. I was so used to doing it slowly and carefully and trying to connect with each and every aspect that moving fast for me wasn't possible. And I was a bit confused, going, how can you say that this is easier for beginners? But of course, if they're not used to doing Tai Chi, people are used to moving fast. It's like asking someone to pedal a bike. You're not going to initially try to move slow. Well, maybe at the very beginning, people are trying to move slowly and carefully, but very quickly you realize actually if you go fast, you keep your balance. So it was a shock to me, and I actually struggled to break free of my do it slowly, carefully paradigm. So it's something that we have to keep relearning. I think we get set in our ways, quite literally, so it's useful. It's so useful to have another teacher to bounce these things off and go, oh, you're right, I was doing that fast. Good. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I think we will finish the class with a little bit of Phoenix today. We're going to leave the Immortals for today and just focus on Phoenix. Willem, would you like to lead the Phoenix? And I'll give you the floor.
Yeah.
So you can choose the speed. Enjoy.
Just going to tilt the camera down a little bit. Okay, so finding your spots, make sure you have a little bit of room to the right, a lot of room to the left, and 2 steps in front, heels together, toes slightly out, drawing the head up, lengthen, calm down. Phoenix and graceful clouds of blessing. Let's begin feeling into the fingertips and scoop. One side, Jane, or both sides?
One side.
In that case, we step back and close up.
Beautiful, very nice, well done everyone. So Willem asked a good question, should we do it on one side or both sides? So as you know, we have been looking at this form all the way through on the first side and then mirroring it and doing it all the way through again. The reason that I decided that we would only do it on one side today was because we were talking about what do you do, or we weren't talking about how do you train when you're feeling a bit delicate, but we were discussing and there was some feeling of delicacy this morning. So if you're ever feeling a bit rough but you want to train, for whatever reason, if you're feeling a bit rough, what I would suggest to you is that you do the comfortable training. You don't put yourself in somewhat more confusing ways. So if you're trying to work something out on the other side, that gives a slight kick to the adrenal glands. It puts us a little bit more into a state of uncertainty, and that in itself can be a little bit more straining on the system. And in general, Tai Chi is designed to soothe and balance the system. Of course, part of balancing the system is also to balance out and to neutralize the fear response by sometimes taking us out of our comfort zone. But if you're not feeling 100%, I would absolutely just stay in your comfort zone and do things that are familiar and comfortable and that you're confident in and that you can just do at your own pace without thinking, oh, how do I do this? And oh, I don't think I did that right. And just don't worry about that. Just do nice, comfortable things like chicken soup, you know? Don't they say, if you're not feeling well, have chicken soup. It's easy to digest, it's nourishing, it's comfortable. If you're not feeling the best, don't be going for your chicken vindaloo. You know, you don't go for the spicy, somewhat more challenging nutrition. So we have enough time just to do one more exercise. I'm actually going to put it to you, what would you like to do? Do you want to recommend or ask for anything? Or if not, we'll just do the Phoenix one more time. How would that be? Yeah, let's do the Phoenix one more time. Do you want to do it again with me, Willem, or do you want to sit down? You want to do it with me?
I do.
Do it with me, excellent. Okay, so let's all do the Phoenix together. First side. So yeah, thank you. All right, are we ready? If you can't see me, if I go off screen, follow them. Prepare. And start. Lovely, very nice, good. Yeah, so sometimes just keeping it simple, doing simple exercises, and working on your foundations, that, I say sometimes, actually, that's, the more Tai Chi I do, the more I realise everything relies on foundation work. Everything is, it stands on the basics. So if your basics are solid as a rock, everything else just happens without effort. Whereas when we try to grow up too fast, when we try to get to the complex, spectacular, showstopper moves, having not focused on the foundations, it is really like trying to build a skyscraper on the foundations of a bungalow. We just can't do it. So we all want to get to the fancy stuff, but actually the more we give the basics lip service, the more we just take our time, the more we get out of it, the more we realise we've already got the ocean in every drop, rather than just trying to get the fancy waves and lovely stuff up there. So I hope you have enjoyed today. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's very nice sometimes to just return to basics. The 7 stars is a kind of staircase taking you from the foundation of everything, which is Wuji, and gradually building us up in complexity until we can do the Phoenix. And then the Phoenix acts as a kind of ground level form to give us health, to give us self-knowledge, to give us a bit of flow, and that then stands as a really good foundation for the likes of the Immortals and any other Tai Chi you may be doing. So, and Bagua, yeah, and Bagua.
We'll get there someday.
Well, someday. I think it's a question of just practicing, you know, and my only Bagua practice that I do at the moment is those 8 steps round, or sometimes 16 steps round if I do it double in the form. Whereas really, you know, we can't expect to become sous chef, or to become master chefs having learned how to boil an egg. You know, it takes practice, and that's all it ever takes is practice, with a bit of guidance from someone who's a few steps ahead. That can really help. So let's finish off with lifting up the arms, flopping the wrists, and we're just going to do a wee bounce. Now it's up to you. Do you want to lift off your heels and drop, or do you want to lift up your heels and bounce off an invisible gel cushion, or maybe you just want to keep your heels down and bounce your body? But I'd like you please to go all floppy and relax everything that will wobble. Let it wobble. Good. And release. And let go. Let your movements just naturally peter out, and allow yourself to stand. Feel the top of the head still floating up, the chin slightly down and back. And now breathe and release into the sensations within. Enjoying as they express. Notice how the sensations change as they play out. And then let's scoop the hands up to cover center. Hug the elbows gently in. And breathe into your belly. Feel the touch of your hands, the warmth of your hands flowing into your center. feel your energy is stronger. Beautiful. And we relax the hands gently down, bring your awareness back to the space around you. And if your eyes are closed, you can slowly and gently open your eyes. Folks, thank you so much for joining us today, and for those who couldn't make it to class, I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you managed to give yourself a bespoke hour and go through it. As always, part of the reason I record these classes is so that you can use them again and again. So just like a good book, if there's decent content, you will actually get more out of it, and you will find that you missed bits the first time. Maybe not even missed bits from the information I'm giving you, but by going through the same stuff again, you will start to experience, as I did, little revelations of, oh, if I focus in a different place, all of a sudden, the whole dynamic shifts. So teachers put you on the path, but you walking the path actually is the thing that is going to give you that insight. There's a teacher inside you that unfolds when you do a discipline like this. So thank you so much. Let's salute Willem. Thank you for joining us. And Glad Hao. And thank you everyone. Xue Sang Hao. And we look forward to seeing you next time.